girl, it's your girl Kayla. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is going to be a video all about this cut crease makeup look, how I simplify it so you guys can achieve this look as well, because cut creases are something that are a little challenging, but with a lot of practice, you'll get there, you'll get this. Today is the beginner's friendly version of the cut crease. I do have a more detailed version of it that takes a little bit more time and it's a little bit more intricate. Not that much more difficult, but it's just something that I was debating on showing you guys today, or doing this little bit more simplified version of it for beginners who are just starting out with cut creases, don't know where to go. I wanted to simplify it a little bit better so you guys can start off with cut creases in a simplified way and not freak out with how many detailed complex steps there are. Before we get into today's video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button to join the K-Bae family, and also hit that like button because it'll really help me out, and feel free to share this video with whoever you want, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your girlfriends, whoever you want to show this video to, feel free to do it. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So I'm already starting off with one eye done so I can thoroughly explain to you guys how to achieve this simple cut crease. I'm going to be taking my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Medium and applying that all over the lid. Then I'm going to be taking a fluffy eyeshadow brush and blending that out. I'm going to also carve out the bottom part of my brow to conceal any imperfections that I may have. Now I'm using a concealer by personal preference because it does neutralize the tones in my lid, and it will make the colors that I'm using apply better and pop more. And if you want to use a regular primer that is your tried and true, go ahead. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. This is just how I do my cut crease. I'm not going to set my lid only so that the colors can really stick to my lid and it would be more pigmented. I'm doing a one palette tutorial today for you guys so that if you want to recreate this look with the same exact shades that I'm using, I am actually using an inexpensive palette that is actually one of my tried and true. The palette that I'm using today is the Hangin' in Hawaii palette, and the colors I'm going to be using today are Shaka, Coconut, Mahalu, Honolulu, Pineapple, and Sandy. I'm going to start off with the transition shade, which is Shaka and Coconut mixed together. And I'm going to apply this in circular motions to the crease. Motions? I said that's so weird. And depending on how you're going to want your cut crease to go, you want to take out your outer corner as far as you want or as inward as you want. So if you would rather it round off right here, then don't go too far outward and bring it out into the cat eye. However, I want to lift my eyes today, so I am going to bring it a little outward. And the brush I was using for that was my Morphe M433 brush. I'm going to be taking another Morphe M433 brush, but this one's dirty because I used it on my other eye. And I'm going to be taking Mahalu and Honolulu mixed together and apply that in the crease. I'm going to pack it on so that I can really get the colors to show up in my crease. And so I don't have to go over it as many times with pigmentation. When you pack it on versus buffing it out, it's going to come out more intense and the color is going to be more pigmented than as if you were to be blending it out as you were going. So I'm gonna go with a little bit more Mahalu and Honolulu and pack this on the crease again. Don't worry about your lid. We're going to carve that out. That is the beauty of concealer. So I'm going to take Shaka and buff out the outer edges of where we applied Mahalu and Honolulu. And this is just going to soften up the edges instead of making it look so harsh. And here I'll give you guys an example of what it looks like on half of the lid. On half of the crease, excuse me. And this I am applying it with circular motions, as well as when I was first applying the transition shade. You want to apply that in circular motions to buff it out and make it soft. However, when you're packing a darker color onto your lid or any color that you really want to show up, pack it on versus buffing it out, because you can always buff out the edges and it will take less time to do that versus buffing it on, keeping on, going back in, buffing it on some more, you know. And this is what it looks like when it's blended and when it's not blended. So as you can see, it just buffs it out and it blends it a lot nicer. It's not a harsh edge. because you really don't want that. Again, there's no right or wrong way of doing things, but if you're trying to achieve this look that I'm doing, you really do want to blend out the outer edges. And sit there and take your time. There's no rush. Definitely don't do this kind of look for work if you don't have a lot of time. This isn't a 5-minute look. This is something that you should definitely practice when you're just chilling at home and you really want to get this down. And this is the beginner friendly version. I actually do my cut creases a lot more detailed and differently, but I feel as if I was a beginner, this is what I would do to take the steps to achieve a cut crease like here. And as you get better, which you will, we'll move on to the harder steps. The steps that are a little bit more complicated to explain and a little bit more complicated for some people to understand, but you'll get it, you know, you'll get there, don't worry. Just sit down, practice, be patient. We got this. I'm here for you, boo. So once that's blended out, we did take a little bit of the color away from the crease. So I want to go back in a little bit more with some more Honolulu and Mahalo, packing that in once more and repeating the same steps. Now, depending on how intense you want this look to come out, you can keep doing this until you're satisfied. Apply it once more and then blend it out. And then if I'm not feeling it still, I will go in one more time. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of Honolulu and Mahalo in the outer corner, because I feel like if I don't, when I apply it back in the outer corner again, it's a little lighter than it is on the crease. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So once I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to go ahead and carve out the lid. So I'm going to be taking my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer again in the shade medium and a Morphe M421 brush. This is like the best, absolute best brush to carve out your lid. So I'm going to show you guys a little trick here. Because I've been doing cut creases for a long time, I feel like that's my signature look. I kind of know where to place the concealer, but I'm going to show you guys what I started off doing when I first started doing cut creases a certain way. So you're going to take your concealer and you're going to apply it on your lid, okay? And what you want to do is, well, let's see if I applied enough concealer, because you need to apply a good amount of concealer, and I'm running really low on my Tarte Shape Tape. So what you want to do is go ahead and look up, and then look down, and then as you can see where I had applied the concealer here, it transferred onto my crease. And that right here is what's going to help you out for hooded eyes. So if you have hooded eyes and you have these struggles of when you look up, people can't see your cut crease or your bomb ass makeup look, it's because you're applying your concealer or your shimmer shade or whatever shade you want on your lid. You're applying it too low and you need to create a faux crease. So this is how you're going to do it. Apply the concealer on your lid, look up, and then wherever the concealer transferred, if it transferred higher, that's where you need to apply your concealer and create your faux crease. So what I'm going to do is take this line and use it as a guide to carve out my crease. And I know at first it's gonna feel weird doing it, but honestly, the more you practice, the more comfortable you're gonna get and the more creative and going further than what you would before. Because I remember when I wouldn't even wear dark colored lipsticks, and now that's like my favorite shade to wear is like dark berry vampy colors, black. I love it. It's so nice. It's fun. It's a creative outlet, and depending on how you're feeling, you can go as crazy as you want or as minimalistic as you want. And again, makeup is an art. It's not a right or wrong thing. People judge it a little too harshly, and honestly, it's just a way of expressing yourself. So again, I'm going to carve out the lid along with my guideline that I used with the concealer. And what I want to do is I like to create my cut creases to where they kind of come out a little bit further on the top, but on the inside they stay a little bit more in. And I actually prefer, I feel like this line I made on my left eye is a little too thick. So I like this, how thin it is. So I'm gonna work with this right here. And then we aren't going to set this concealer again. If you guys have seen other tutorials about how to make shimmer shades pop, usually you would use Fix Plus, your setting spray, or any water that you have on hand to make shimmer shades pop a lot more. But what I found is when you don't set your concealer, when you're carving out your lid, with translucent powder, you actually can get more pigmentation out of the shimmer shades. And actually the shimmer shades in this BH Cosmetics palette are really pigmented. One of them looks like with just one swipe. These are amazing and bomb and I love them. So I'm gonna be taking the shade Pineapple on my Sigma E55 brush, and I'm going to apply that with a stamping motion onto my lid. I'm just gonna stamp it on, literally. Because when you drag it, you lose pigmentation and you lose the shimmer. This allows you to cleanly place the shade onto your lid where you applied the concealer. So I'm just gonna go a little bit faster. And then I'm going to take Sandy and apply it on the outer half of the lid to give it some dimension. Next, I'm going to be taking my Morphe M433 brush again with the shades Mahalo and Honolulu, and I'm going to apply that on the outer corner. This does apply a little too harshly because it is very pigmented, so I'm going to be taking the other Morphe M433 brush that we used for our transition shade, and I'm going to blend that out into the shimmer shades. And then go ahead and blend out the outer half of your outer corner. Whoa, a little too far. Then I'm going to apply some mascara and lashes, and I'll be right back. Now this next step is an option, but I feel if I have so much going on the top, I have to even it out on the bottom. I can't just have a glam eye on the top and nothing on the bottom, but if you want, you don't have to. I'm gonna be taking some Mahalo and Honolulu and apply that on the lower lash line. I'm also going to be taking a brown gel liner from LA Girl, and I'm going to be applying this on my lower lash line. So there's only 2 steps left. I'm going to be taking my mascara from Smashbox. This is a travel size, but this is the best lower lash line mascara ever. And this is the Super Fan mascara from Smashbox. And I'm going to be applying this on my top and bottom lashes. But I already applied some on my top lashes, so I'm just going to be applying on my bottom lashes. The last and final step is highlight. I'm actually going to be taking another shade from this palette. It's called Hula, and I'm just going to apply that in the inner quarters. So that is it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it and really did help you out. If it did, please be sure to hit that subscribe button to join the K-Babe family and to see more videos like this one. I have a few planned for the next few weeks. But also comment down below on what you struggle with so I can get a tutorial up on that. And if you did recreate this look, go ahead and tag me on your Instagram post. I'd really love to see it. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys again on Saturday. Bye guys!